rutting duck anthem. A buck comes by me chasing the doe, put the beat on his shoulder and let the 12 gauge roll. Big buck down in the smell of gunpowder smoke. I got the deer wood sounding like the Alamo. And if a duck flies anywhere close to the hole, he'll be shot down quick. This is a no-fly zone. Big old Tom hollering up in a tree. When he flies down, I'll call him over to me. He'll gobble and strut, but the last thing he'll see is the muzzle flash from a 3rd degree. I'm telling you now, you better give him a listen, cause a rutting duck boys ain't never missing. I'm telling you now, you better give him a listen, cause the rutting duck boys ain't never missing.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Rut and Duck Podcast. This is episode 10. We in the double digits now.
Yeah, we're
About
moving
time.
up.
We should be about episode 30-something, but
It is what it is.
life happened. Before we get going, just want to shout out Austin Long again with Bonehead Skull Mounts. He does really good work. He's starting to get busy. If you shoot a deer anywhere in the PD area, shoot a nice buck, you want to get him skull mounted, hit up Austin, hit him up on Facebook. Without further ado, I'm Dylan Hotaling.
I'm Jay Rowland.
I'm Weston Hotaling.
And today with us, we have the hunting world equivalent to like a Reaper drone operator. Today we have Mr. Sean Britt with Carolina Thermal Imaging and Recovery. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
As everybody can see, we have the drone sitting here. You did a little demo for us outside. That is freaking sweet.
Yeah.
You went up and it hauled boogie and it got out of, it was way out there in no time. And then you were zooming in from like, I don't know how high it was, but it was way up there. So, so you said you started what, 3 years ago?
This will be my 3rd year.
3rd year.
Yeah.
Okay. What got you into this?
So it's interesting actually. So my son and I were at home sitting on the couch watching YouTube, and drone deer recovery came on YouTube, and we watched it. And he said, "Dad, that's cool. We should do it." And I said, "Sure." So I started doing some research, drones, and we made it happen.
I heard about this. It's been around for a little while.
It has been.
But it hadn't been around, I don't think, 10 years. I don't think.
No, I would say probably 4, 5 maybe.
Yeah, I remember the first time I seen it, and I was like, what? Using drones?
This is the first thing I've heard of.
Yeah, everybody, for the longest time has used dogs to track deer. And then this came on the scene. So it uses thermal imaging, obviously, to see deer. So let's just say somebody calls you and they say, "Hey, I shot a deer," whether they know where they shot it or they don't. I know buck fever gets you sometimes, but say, "I think I made a gut shot. Can you come help me?" What's that process like?
Well, the first thing I do is ask a few questions about the shot. The most important thing is, did they push the deer? It's important to know.
Gotcha.
It's hard not to do that. We've all done it. I've done it myself.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do if you're uncertain about that shot is do not push that deer at all. I have been to a lot of recoveries that the deer were pushed, and deer have been found up to 1.5 miles away with the arrow still stuck in them.
Okay. So have you done more recoveries with bow hunting or rifles? Or
Rifles.
Really?
Rifles, yeah.
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
I figured bow hunters would be calling you a lot more, but I guess they know not to bump the deer. Most of the time a bow hunter shoots a deer and, they give them an hour or so before they start looking for them, even if they made a good shot.
Yeah, I had a situation with a buddy of mine last night that got into
buck fever got a hold of him. He had never killed one yet, and it was getting dark and he couldn't see it real well. And I think he made a bad shot on her, and they spent 2 hours in the dark looking for her, found blood everywhere, but couldn't never find her.
Yeah.
So
I can say this in the cases that it's been verified that the deer hasn't been bumped, they haven't went more than 100 yards, either dead or alive.
Have you had many people call that know they made a good shot and still call you anyways to try to find them?
There's been a few, not many.
Yeah.
Those have been really big deer.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I had shot like one like Jamie brought last week,
oh my
that
lord,
200 and some change skull mount he brought in, yeah, I'd probably call.
there'd been dogs.
Oh,
I'd have been waiting in the stand about 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'd been like, all right, now I'm gonna call. He should be dead. If he's not, whatever.
Yeah. So does this spook the deer at all, running this drone like that?
It depends. I wouldn't say it spooks them, but at night there's a spotlight that attaches to the top of it, so I'm able to see at night.
That's freaking sweet.
So I have been to areas where I drop down to 250 foot, cut the light on, a deer run, and I've been to places where I drop down to 80 foot, cut the spotlight on, and they never move. So I don't know what that factor is, but it just depends.
Now, question about the spotlight. Since this is like the whole drone thing's legal, the spotlight don't like you know how they got like the regulations with the spotlight and deer and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what I do is if I get a call and I go search, and let's just say we locate that deer successfully and he's not expired yet, I can drop a pin on that deer. You can scan that with your phone and it'll put you within 5 foot of that deer.
Dang.
But I typically try to judge the shot. Typically we see where the bullet entered. Sometimes we can see the entrance and exit. And then I make a judgment call before I give them that information, because what I don't want is to find a deer, give someone the coordinates, and then they move in on him and hunt him, because then that makes it illegal.
Yeah.
So typically if it's close by, if I locate a deer and I think he's going to expire or not, I'll just go back the next morning, fly back to the pen, and then we'll make a decision there.
Okay.
But I stay away from giving people locations of deer just for that reason.
Yeah. And everything we ask you is because we genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
And I know not very long when this first came out, I want to say South Carolina was one of the states they didn't allow any kind of drone. I want to say
I'm not sure.
And it could have just been from the finding deer with a drone and then going to hunt them. You know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it can be confused too. So some people think that using a drone to recover a wounded animal is part of the hunt.
Yeah.
So it's a big gray area. You know, it just says you cannot use a drone to hunt a deer. So to be on the safe side, if I find a deer, I'll be like, hey, I'll be back in the morning. We'll drop a pin on him. We'll check it from there. And then 24 hours later, I'll text him where he's at.
Gotcha.
I've got a 24-hour rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, it keeps you in the safe, I would say.
Yeah, because that's a lot of money and equipment.
Oh yeah.
To just lose.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we've all lost deer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, and the thing, you want to do everything you can to help people find a deer, being it be a kid's first deer or a man's third buck, 100 buck, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You want to be able to do everything you can to help them.
Yeah. Tracking deer with dogs has been around forever. And I've never had to call anybody with a dog. I've lost deer before. But most of the time that anytime we get blood, we find that deer. We make it a point to try to find it. But there has been times where this would have been, your average time is probably what, 30 minutes to an hour?
So it has been less than 1 minute. But it's usually no more than 2 hours. If I haven't located that deer dead or alive in 2 hours with the amount of area that I can cover in that time, it's highly unlikely that that deer was pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest deer of my life I lost. I caught a guy in with a dog and bumped the deer, and I'd never seen him for 2 or 3 weeks. Then he shows back up on camera. I end up making another bad shot on him, got good blood, bumped him, lost him, didn't call the guy back with the dog. and the logger found him the next year, and I was able to get him back. But he was a 130-inch buck.
Good buck.
Man, that's a good buck.
And I just think, not saying nothing negative against tracking deer with dogs, but the advantage to the drone is you can see that deer, you can see the state of that deer, where the shot placement was, and you don't bump them.
Yeah.
You don't disturb them at all.
Yeah. The dog doesn't know any different. I mean, his job is to go find the deer. So,
and I've had a few calls to go in behind dogs, but it's never good. Which is not good when a deer's bumped in general.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me like, from my experience, is you'll get about 1 or 2 good bumps out of that deer. And when you bump them that second or third time, they go a long way.
Yeah. They know they're being tracked at that point. One thing I was curious about, because I started hunting public land a little bit, is there any regulations on flying a drone over public land, or is it kind of just...
No, the regulation is no one owns airspace.
Gotcha.
With that being said, I'll be respectful of other people. So one thing I've learned is, and we all make mistakes and we learn from them. I was doing a couple recoveries last year. The guys would call me. I'd go out and look for the deer, and I was flying late afternoon. And what I didn't realize is the neighbors next door were hunting, and it caused a little tension. And I can understand why.
Yeah.
When people see a drone, they think, "Oh, it's my property." But technically, no one owns the airspace. As long as you're not video recording or taking pictures without their permission, you can pretty much fly over anywhere.
So everybody knows these 4 deer recoveries. Everybody that knows about it knows it's for recovering deer. But I did not know about the herd analysis aspect of it until I started following you on Facebook. So what kind of goes into that?
So the herd analysis, I either do those before the season or after the season. There's no analysis, there's no scouting during deer season. So what goes into the analysis is you give me a layout of your property. I map it out on the drone. It tells me exactly how many acres are there. We'll fly the entire area, dropping pins on deer. We differentiate the bucks and the does by different color pins. So let's say for a doe, I might drop a blue pin. For a buck, I'll drop a red pin. I'll take pictures of those deer, not all of them, but the mature bucks.
Yeah.
Once the property is covered, I'll provide a color map with a buck to doe ratio, pointing out any bear, coyote, any other animal.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, that keeps you from having I'm sure people still run trail cameras after, but that's like gives you a full example of what you have on your property.
Yeah, so it's popular after the season to see what made it through, what bucks made it through. And then it's popular before season to see what people had to look forward to.
Yeah.
But then you have some people that just want to know, hey, how many bucks, how many does? Okay, so I've got way too many does. And then they'll tell the hunting club, we're going to shoot 13 does this year. So it just gives them an idea of what the buck to doe ratio.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, in the early season, I guess that's their home range pretty much until the rut comes in. So, I mean, what you have is probably that's their home. So that's pretty neat.
Well, and the thing about the analysis is I don't like to do them at night.
Yeah.
I prefer to do them in the daytime. You get better results. You get more accurate results. But you cannot do it when the sun's out.
Yeah.
So I'm limited as to when I can do them. So like now I've got 6 people left that I've got to do before the season comes in. And I don't know that I'll be able to get them all in because of the weather.
So like you were saying, the cloudy days help out better.
I prefer to do it in the daytime in the pouring down rain. I got a tent where I can set up, stay out of the rain, but that is the absolute best time to do it. That's when the thermals are the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's right now, it just got done pouring down rain. It was starting to rain when we were out there when you're showing it to us. And man, from way out there, you could see, because there's a cow pasture right out front from the studio here. So, I mean, as soon as you got it up there, you could see all the cows out in the pasture. I mean, it
Yeah, he was way up there, and he zoomed in. You all but see the flies flying around the cow. Zoomed in so
Yeah,
hard.
I was about 250 foot, and it's got a 200 zoom on it, and I was up to about 40 zoom.
Wow.
How high up can you go with it?
Legally, you got to stay under 400 foot.
Why? Because that
So,
like restricted
That's
airspace.
that's just what the FAA requires. But when I'm searching, I'm typically 250. I may go up to 300 if it's in a big open area so I can see more.
Yeah.
But typically 2 to 250. Once I locate something, I will come down definitely no less than 100 if I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, a 250. I mean, from what we saw, I don't see how. I mean, you wouldn't really need to go any higher. I mean, you can see way out there.
Yeah, you can see. And the thing is, I go to some properties, like I just done an analysis for a hunting club. They had 9,000 acres. And 100 foot makes a difference. If I'm flying at 195 foot and go up to 295 or 395, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Being able to see.
That's freaking sweet. You,
And so-
I mean, it was.
You say what?
I'm still in shock.
Yeah,
over
that thing
this.
is cool, ain't it?
We've never seen this before.
Have
so
you ever
it's-
used it to find duck holes?
I haven't. Now I've flown around my property. I spent a lot of hours flying this drone to learn the features of it, to be able to know what I'm looking for. And there's an old beaver pond behind my property. And of course, I fly it, and just to be able to spot the difference between, well, that's a squirrel,
Yeah.
or that's a rabbit, or that's a duck, because doing that saves time on recoveries.
Yeah.
When I'm able to fly, and of course, I got a big screen that the customer looks at,
Yeah.
and they say, oh, there's a heat signature there, or there's one there, and I'm able to say, look, that's a rabbit,
Yeah.
or that's a squirrel, or that's a turkey in a tree.
Because you said your work truck, you've got like a big screen TV.
Yeah, I've got a 24-inch, I think it's 24-inch monitor in a hard case that I flip up and hook the remote control to. And the customer is able to see everything on the TV that I'm looking at on the remote.
Dang.
Yeah,
That
so it's
makes-
pretty cool.
That just makes me the next deer I shoot. Just want to call
Yeah.
you just so I can see all of it.
Well, and when I take this drone out to people, they're always, amused.
Yeah.
And they want to look over your shoulder and see what you're seeing on the remote. And that's fine. But I typically like to work out of the back of my truck.
Yeah.
I'll land the drone on top of the truck. I got a fold out chair that I'll sit in the back of the truck, and they're not able to see it. So with the big screen, I can focus on what I need to while they're looking at the screen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, you probably do need to focus because that's probably very expensive. And if I got distracted and ran into a tree with that, I'd probably be pretty upset.
Yeah.
That's about $13,000 sitting on the table.
I don't.
Good night.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
See, we don't know nothing about this, so I'm just wondering, like, is there anybody that kind of says this is cheating in a sense? Like,
Well,
is it-
when I've put posts on Facebook,
Mhm.
and people make comments. Oh, what happened to the old days when you just go in there on foot and find a deer that you shot?
Yeah.
People are getting lazy, but I don't look at it that way.
No.
But I mean, if you have a deer that you've wounded and you don't have a dog, it's better than just leaving it out there hurt instead of you can just go find it.
I've had deer that I could not find.
Yeah.
That I feel 100% sure that if something like that would have showed up, the deer would have been found, been on the wall, and everything would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because of either a dog or just other, like I had one buck get away from my dad. Coyotes jumped it up because a cop car came by with the sirens on, ran the buck off, jumped him up twice with it.
Yeah.
Do I think you probably could have found him with that? 100%, because he got shot with a 270 twice.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was going. I don't even know how he got up twice. But
I mean,
you're saving a deer from suffering. You're ensuring that you get a certain amount of tags. You don't want to shoot a deer on your property, not find them, and then shoot another buck on your property. And you say you fill all your tags. Well, you've shot an extra deer that you never found. I mean, this keeps all that from. This is a safeguard.
Yeah, and I eat deer meat, so the thought of me shooting a deer and not be able to locate him, it bothers me. So you want to do everything you can to find that deer.
Yeah.
And that just takes all the legwork out of it.
I'd rather feed me and my family than feeding a coyote and theirs.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if y'all ever had that feeling, like you ever had the sick feeling, like either you missed or you shot
Yeah.
one, couldn't find it. I've had that feeling a lot because when my dad first let me loose with the rifle, dude, I was better off throwing rocks. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
My dad told me one time, he said, if you miss this one, I'm taking the gun. He said, you're not shooting anymore.
Yeah.
I missed like 8 straight shooter bucks. I'm talking about nice. And then I finally hit one. And I don't think I found it. I can't remember because I missed a lot. Not so much no more. But I really do feel like a couple deer that I've shot at, I could have found if the drone came out.
Well, even just saving you hours of walking through a swamp. I shot a deer. I got excited. I was hunting with a rifle, and I was on like a little platform that we had made. It used to have ground blinds on it, but the ground blind broke, so I was just sitting on top of the platform, and I was out there in the wide open on the edge of a field, and this little doe just like popped out of the woods. I could hear her. She was barreling through the woods, and then she just stopped and stared at me, and I took the 270 and spun around. Stupid. I don't know why I did it. I just had a rush of excitement.
Yeah.
And I shot her right in the chest. A shot that I normally would not. Don't want to shoot them in. I don't like taking frontal shots like that. But I did. I got excited. And I shot her. And she took off. And I heard her barreling through the woods. It was at what used to be the old field. Mm. You know, there's a big old duck swamp back there. Mm-hmm. And it is rough. And of course, she went in there. She ended up dying in the duck swamp, but it took, I think, probably 2.5, 3 hours of trudging through all that thick crap. And then you get to the duck swamp, and it's waist deep water, and then she's out. It would have just saved so much time just to have that.
Yeah, and I've actually got calls from people that felt like they missed. The buck was so nice, they wanted to confirm that he wasn't laid in there dead. Yeah. They didn't find no blood. They didn't feel comfortable with the shot. And then I go and sure enough, find the buck walking around, no hole in him. So there's another side to it, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it gives you peace of mind.
Which, I mean, every time you shoot an animal with a rifle, you don't always get blood. Yeah. One of the last bucks I killed, I shot him. He was dead as a doornail 60 yards in there, not a drop of blood on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little different than a bow. A bow, they're usually gushing blood.
Just because you don't have blood don't mean you didn't kill it. But I do have one question. Like with a dog, when it comes to finding an animal and it comes to water, they most of the time lose them from what I've seen. Like if a deer goes through a creek or dies in a creek, can it pick the animal up if it's in the water?
A lot of it depends on the time. So typically a deer will hold heat for about 36 hours, and that drone will be able to pick him up. I have found him later. I have found him up to 2 weeks later, but he died in an open area, and the sun would shine all day and heat him up. And I went looking for another deer that a guy shot and found a deer he shot 2 weeks ago. Huh. So they will show up in water, but it won't show up like a heat signature. It'll just be it'll stand out to me on the screen. If I got the drone in black hot, it won't be black. It might be white. It'll just be a different color that I know to look for.
Yeah. Man, I can think of one deer in particular that I would have loved to have been able to call you to come find him. I mean, the biggest buck I've ever shot at. Now, it was dog driving. And I've told about it on here before, but just to have the peace of mind that I didn't kill him or didn't hit him would have been great, because I still think about that deer like at least twice a week. Especially when deer season comes, I always think, man, I wish I could have found that deer, hit the deer, known whether I injured it or anything. Because, I mean, most hunters are the same way. Nobody wants to injure a deer. Nobody wants to hurt a deer. Nobody wants a deer to sit in the woods and suffer. And you know that eventually it's going to wear down. The coyotes are going to find it. And it's still going to be alive when the coyotes get a hold to it. So I love this. I think this is awesome. And it's great for, I mean, I know there's probably some older folks, like you said, that want to stick to the old ways with the dogs, but I mean, this is the most.
Yeah, but I don't see anything wrong. I don't see a single aspect of this that is wrong.
No,
like anything. I mean, yeah, but like you said, you be respectful of everybody else's property, which is good. I mean, you can't just. I mean, you can, but there's a way to go about stuff, like you said, and I mean, just being respectful about it goes a long way, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, it's like we talked about earlier. I was doing a recovery flying, and I seen the heat signature and zoom in, and it's somebody in a deer stand. And rightfully so, they're upset. I mean,
Yeah.
I would be too.
Yeah.
We worked it out. I apologize. So what I learned from that was, unless I'm tracking a deer or recovering a deer on a huge property where no one else is hunting, 200 or 300 acres, I'll wait till dark.
yeah.
Because the last thing I want is to mess somebody up from hunting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not that I think the drone will mess up hunting, but if I'm in a deer stand, I don't want a drone circling over my head. Like, I
Yeah.
get it.
I'd probably think it was the game wardens if it was me. I'm over there in the duck hole. I'm like, oh crap, they found me.
It just like looks like something you'd get off of a Call of Duty kill streak. Like just call it in on your little radio.
Yeah, a little scan, little heat scan.
Yeah.
Well, there's several drones to choose from. This is not the only one. This is the second one that I've had. I started out on a lot smaller scale, not with the intent of being as big as it is now. But there's things about this drone that make it the best, in my opinion. 50 mile an hour winds, I can fly. Rain, I can fly.
Good night.
I done a couple recoveries last year, and I would land a drone to swap the batteries out, and there would be ice on the propellers.
Dang.
And it'd fly right back. So it'll take it.
So it's still got a pretty stable flight with the winds and all that.
It does. The only time that the wind affects what I do is at night when that spotlight is attached. The spotlight is attached to the aircraft, not on a gimbal.
Yeah.
So the wind blows the aircraft, the gimbal keeps the camera straight and steady, but it does not keep the light. So I have had a little bit of trouble one time doing a recovery at night and high wind. But we were able to find a deer. We were able to see the bullet hole, see blood, but it just made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like whenever you were showing us, it looks just like a video game.
Yeah.
You know, people look at the drone and be like, oh man, I couldn't fly it. I'd crash it. I mean, the drone is very basic. The difference it makes with this drone is knowing what to look for. See, being able to be at 250 foot and say, okay, there's a heat signature. Yeah, well, that's a rabbit, or that's a squirrel, or that heat signature's in a tree. I don't have to take that extra time to stop.
Yeah.
I already know. So I'm able to search more area within that time frame.
Yeah. I saw, I've seen a few of your recent videos. You know, you found a group of hogs in, I don't know, I guess you were doing an analysis. You had found a group of hogs. I saw one that you had found a bear. The last one I saw was the bobcat in the tree. That's pretty cool. I mean, just to be able to see that as a landowner.
And that's why I say you never know what you're going to see when you're flying over someone's property. And you see a heat signature and hit the zoom button. And like I said, just the other day with that bobcat. And I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I've never seen. I've seen plenty of bobcats and coyotes and bear and turkeys, whatever. But to catch that bobcat in his natural habitat like that, it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Well, I do have one little off top. Well, not really, but have you seen Sasquatch yet?
Not yet.
Not
Still
yet.
looking for him.
Hey, you do you think he's real?
No.
They say, look, if you ever want to know, they say over there in close to the big PD, they say he's over there.
Well, I will tell you this. As you could tell by some of the videos, I see some pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
So it was in South Carolina. I was doing a recovery for two brothers, and we ended up locating a buck. It was one of those clean miss bucks. So as we're searching, we're in the middle of 300 or 400 acres, and right in the middle of the swamp, there's this big heat signature. And I'm like, there's something there. So we all get excited. We start looking at the screen. I zoom in, cut the light on. It is a man standing at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning in the middle of a swamp. No boots, no light, no nothing.
Dang.
But it was not Sasquatch.
You probably could have reported that to the police.
I don't know. He was tweaking on something to be in the middle of the swamp.
1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, it was cold.
He didn't like wave or anything?
No boots, no.
And you shined.
I put the spotlight on him. He looked up, and that was it.
What were your thoughts when you seen that?
I was actually surprised because I've seen a lot, and for it to be in such an open area of water with no houses around, I was pretty surprised. And to this day, we don't know where he came from.
Dang, that might have been that thing that I seen that night
Oh yeah.
over there at my tree stand.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I'd have been ready to go if I'd have seen something like that. Just a random person at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
And I think we looked at it at the time. I can't really remember exactly, but I think the closest highway may have been 1,000 yards. Like it was literally in the middle of nowhere.
Huh. That's crazy.
He's just standing there.
I'm trying to compute what even he could be out there for
I
other
have
than
no idea.
Moonshiners is all I can think. He's just out there with his little steel mill or
I
whatever.
think those brothers chalked it up to coon hunting, but
That's what I was
I
going to
didn't
say.
see a
poor
weapon.
coon
I didn't
hunter.
see a
I don't know
nothing.
why you'd be coon hunting with no boots or nothing on.
And it's pitch black, man.
Oh god!
I mean, he could just be going hardcore at it. I mean,
Old man McGuckin out there in the woods.
sheesh, that's crazy.
Have you ever seen like animals fighting on video?
I've got some videos, some footage of bucks fighting on camera.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was doing a recovery for a guy, and 2 bucks were fighting. So
See, like to you, I guess you're just used to this kind of stuff. But like for us, just like, you know, this is cool. Like the dude in the woods is like, whoa. And then, you know, catching the deer fighting and stuff. That's
yeah, and the thing is, you know, it's a lot of work that goes into this.
Yeah.
And I've worked hard to get where I'm at.
Yeah, because like we were talking about, you still work.
Yeah, I still work full time and do this. And I honestly expected once deer season was over last year, I said, well, now I've got a minute to take a breath, reset. But I almost immediately went into analysis and then pet recovery. So
That's smart.
people would call me for lost pets. And the only people more passionate about animals than deer hunters are people with pets. It is unreal.
I could just see the weird phone calls now. Like, hey, my guinea pig got out.
Hey, and you say that, but I did get a phone call to go look for a pig. Well, it was a hog and had little piglets. And I ended up finding her in the woods. She got out of the pen and went in the woods down in the swamp and gave birth.
Dang.
And we located her within 20 minutes. And we dropped the pin on them, and I think they were able to successfully get them back.
Man,
Dang, so that thing's got all kind of
I
benefits.
was gonna say,
I could have used you whatever month that was. We had just got a dog, and 2 days later she run off.
Yeah.
Don't know where she went, but then she just showed back up. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I've got calls from the local sheriff's departments to go out and look for people.
You
Dang,
might have
yeah.
found one of them people you was looking for.
No,
one night.
the couple calls that I've went on, I think I ended up getting a call a little later than I would like. I think they might have been on the jump 3 hours ahead of me, and I wasn't able to find them.
Yeah. Man, there's all kind of things
Benefits.
I mean, well, for people that want to reach out, I mean, I hope you get some work here. You said you've done a little bit of work in Florence,
I have.
and you're out
Darlington.
okay, because you're out of Roland.
Yeah, I'm about 6 miles from the South Carolina line.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope some people reach out.
Oh yeah, I definitely appreciate it.
Where can they reach you?
So on Facebook, it's Carolina Thermal. But my phone number is 910-618-6969. You can call and text anytime.
Y'all remember that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty active on Facebook. I'm pretty active to where if somebody reaches out, I try to respond really quick.
Yeah. So one thing I was curious about was like, especially come like the end of October around Halloween, you know, when the rut's really getting serious, how often do you have multiple calls in a night, and how does that kind of work for you?
Looking back on it, I don't know if there's been many nights where I had just one call, but coincidentally, it's happened to work out, and I hope it continues to work that way. So like I'd be down in Florence doing a recovery and get a call that was literally on my way home.
Sweet.
And it's last year, it just worked out that way. Now, I think I ended up with 92 calls last year. And I think out of the 92 calls, I think I had successfully maybe 85 deer.
That's pretty good.
That's
odds.
pretty good.
Pretty good stats.
Yeah. But here's the thing, you know, you've got that gray area where they're not sure what they shot.
Yeah.
But I'm convinced when I go fly and I find a deer with a bullet hole in him, or a doe with a bullet hole in her, you know, because I got some calls for kids' first deer. It might be a doe. It's not just bucks I go look for.
Yeah.
I found maybe 10 or 15 does last year.
I mean, just I would feel like it'd be a whole lot easier to find a specific buck that somebody has got pictures of, like you were talking about. It'd be a whole lot easier to find one of those than just finding a doe.
Yeah, especially when they're still alive.
Yeah.
Because most bucks you shoot, or most bucks that you see on camera, they have at least one distinctive characteristic.
Yeah.
It could be a curved brow tine. It could be a short G2. So when the hunter is more positive what they shot, it's easy for me to zoom in, because with the drone, I can be at 250 foot and zoom in and count the points on the deer.
Yeah. What you showed, I didn't think it would be that clear to like somebody give you those characteristics and it'd be like, he's right there. You know, I figured most people probably feel the same way, don't understand just how good you can see with it.
Yeah, I figured it was just gonna be like a little blob on the screen or something.
Yeah.
No, and that's where that drone comes in. Like I said, I started out on a lot smaller scale with a smaller drone, and will it get the job done? Absolutely. But I learned quickly that, you know, in the wintertime when deer season's in, a lot of your days are rainy, a lot of your days are cold and windy, and it sucked to have to tell people, no, I can't go because of the rain. So I wanted to do that one factor, get it out. And where this drone has a 200 zoom, the other drone would have a 56 zoom on it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it would get a little grainy zooming in.
Yeah.
A little pixelated.
Yeah, it had a lot smaller controller. I mean, like I said, will it get the job done? Absolutely. It got the job done for me. But I spent more time doing recoveries. With this one, I can cover almost twice as much ground, air, in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, what's like, how, so it goes, when you fly it, does it go off a signal from the controller, right?
So it runs off satellite. So the drone communicates with the remote control through satellite.
Okay.
And I have been to areas where it sucks. You know, the service sucks. It's been rare.
Yeah.
You know, and when it's like that, I typically have to move a lot. I might have to sit up here and then move a little bit closer. After I search this area, I might have to move around a little bit.
So, like, with the signal, does that depend on how far out you can fly, staying in one spot?
No. So typically, I keep it within my visual line of sight. You know, I try not to fly it way off.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
At night, I have all the lights on it. It's got a beacon light on it to flash, so I can make sure it's in my line of sight. You know, there's certain regulations that with the FAA you have to do it.
Yeah.
So you've got to be like, So on that subject, what all is there, like permits you have to have? Or
So recreational, anyone can buy a drone and fly it. Commercially, when you make money with it, you have to have a Part 107. And what that consists of is there's a study guide that's optional. I went and took a 1-week class. Once the class is over, you schedule to take a test in person at an airport. I think I took mine in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Okay.
Called the lady. She scheduled me. I went, sit in a booth. They take your phone from you. You can't take anything in there with you. You sit under the computer and you take a test. Once you pass the test, they give you a certificate. It's called a certificate. It looks like a driver's license. There's no photo ID on it. It's just got your information on there. Because when you fly that drone, these newer drones have a built-in called remote ID. So the drone has to be registered. And by it being registered, the flight logs are kept in a database. So at any time, the FAA can say, okay, well, let's see where he's flown this drone.
Huh.
So they can see every time you fire this thing up and fly it.
And it keeps it. You have to create an account with DJI, which is the manufacturer of the drone. And all that information is kept on that remote controller. Like I've got thousands of hours of flight time on that drone.
Dang.
And it's all kept.
Dang.
How long does like a battery last on it?
So this drone takes 2 batteries. I typically get about 30 minutes of flight time out of 2 batteries, but it takes about 25 minutes to charge 2 batteries.
Oh,
So
okay.
I keep rolling with 8 batteries, but I've also got a few backup in the event one of them goes down.
Yeah.
So with 8 batteries and a charger, I can fly all night, all day.
Yeah. man, it's cool. I'd like to just ride with you one night and just watch you do
yeah.
recoveries.
And I had a guy that's what he done. He rode with me. I'd call him like, hey, Kevin, I got a call. You want to go? He's like, come pick me up. And we go ride.
That's cool.
But you get the opportunity to meet some great people.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to establish some friendships and just meet great people because of that drone.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean,
And, you know, making money is a bonus.
Oh yeah.
But just the opportunity. But the feeling of the times when I shot a big buck or when I killed my first deer, you know, I get to help all these kids, grown men, grown women.
oh yeah.
Really, it's like I'm reliving my first deer when I
Oh,
go
yeah.
see the excitement
Yeah.
on their face.
I'd love to be there to see a
Yeah.
kid that shot their first deer. Even a grown man that shot his biggest buck he's ever killed, and he's scared to death that he's not gonna be able to find it. He made a bad shot, and you find it for him and get to see that excitement. I mean, that'd be awesome.
And that's why you do it.
Yeah.
And there was one point in time, there was nothing I love more than hunting. I didn't miss a season, didn't miss an opening day, nothing. And since I've had this operation, this business, this is the least amount of time I've ever hunted.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I tell everybody I'd rather do this than hunt.
Yeah.
Now my son shot a nice deer last year. And between doing recoveries and him shooting one deer, I was good. I was
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like this. I mean, we get to come on here and talk about hunting every single weekend. Now, I do think we're gonna back it down to do it every 2 weeks, but we'll do like 2 guests in a weekend because we got to have some time to hunt. I mean, how can you come on and sit here and talk about hunting all the time and you never get to hunt?
That's right.
So, and we both me and Jay got family, small kids, got to spend time with them too. So that's always, we got to make time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This is just cool. I've been excited about this, having you on for how long has that been? 3 weeks, 2 or 3
It's
weeks?
been about 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
since we communicated.
Yeah. And I reached out and I was like, dang, I hope he's down.
Well, you know, I tell people it's never a good thing to have to call me to go look for a deer, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might shoot one, not even look for it, and just call you.
Yeah,
I'll pay you and all right,
yeah,
but
I'm telling you, man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to see when you're flying over someone's property and they say, oh, I shot a buck and oh, it's this. And when you find, because flying that drone and when I see a heat signature, I can tell, well, that deer's standing or that deer's bedded or that deer's dead laid over on its side. So I have a little bit of knowledge of what I'm getting ready to look at before I cut that spotlight on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's awesome, man.
Do you have any other like attachments or anything that you have been thinking about wanting to put on there, or is it already full? Like you can't put any other?
No, they make a lot of different accessories. Like they make propellers that are low noise propellers, but I mean, at that
It
point,
ain't
the
loud.
drone's loud. It is what it is. But the spotlight, and that's it. That reel that sits on top of that drone, I got a spotlight that slides on top and plugs in.
Yeah. That's freaking sweet. I'm like fanboying over this thing. That's cool as
I
crap.
thought it was pretty quiet for. I mean,
Yeah.
you said it goes what 50?
It depends on the wind, but I've had it reach up to 50 mile an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be generating some type of power. So I mean, I don't think it's loud enough to really spook anything.
Probably sounds like a swarm of bees.
Yeah,
almost.
And most of I would say recoveries, but here lately, all the analysis that I've been doing, the deer look up at it, but
Yeah.
it just makes for a good picture.
Yeah.
When I'm able to fly the drone and the buck looks up at me and take a picture, it's awesome.
But
Yeah.
around here, a lot of the deer around here, they're used to the logging and all this, and a lot of people hunt close to the highways. I mean, I don't think it would like really
Definitely
push them
wouldn't-
off or nothing.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't bring on as much of a sense of danger as a dog
Yeah, no.
running through.
God, no.
Well, and like I said, you're not disturbing anything.
yeah,
You're taking a drone in the air. You're not putting your scent in there.
Yeah.
You're just looking at it from the sky,
yeah,
and nothing can hide from that heat.
no,
But from that thermal, you cannot hide unless, of course, you're inside of a building.
Yeah.
But if a deer's out there, that thermal will find him.
and like you were talking about with the camera and stuff, I think where we were getting thrown off was if you watch videos of people that are thermal hunting out in the fields and they're shooting coyotes and hogs like in Texas or whatever. That does not, the thermals that you mount on a gun do not compare to
No,
the thermals that are on this.
no.
That's what we're used to. It looks more like a blob with legs running around, but it is obvious what it is.
Yeah, that's currently, that's the best thermal sensor on the market.
I can believe it.
Yeah, it picks up heat, and like I said, there's different color palettes. There's red hot, black hot, white hot. I mean, there's just so many different. And I found it typically in a heavily wooded area, the black hot works good.
Yeah, it definitely, the black stands out a lot more than I would have thought it was. So this is, I don't know. I'm all over this.
Yeah.
You gonna get you one?
Yeah.
So that drone is actually hard to find. I'm actually in the market for a drone for backup. You know, there's a DJI ban. They're trying to ban DJI in the United States coming from China. That's a China-made drone. So what I don't want to happen is be in the middle of the season, my drone go down, and they can't fix it.
Yeah,
Can't get parts in. So they've got a drone out now. That's that drone that I have is a Matrice 30T. They have a Matrice 4T that they just came out with a few months back. It's got a little bit better thermal in it as far as the display. It don't have quite the zoom that does. And the only reason I haven't bought it is you can't fly it in the rain. It doesn't have an IP55 rating.
Mm.
So I don't want to put that kind of money in something that I can't fly in the rain.
Yeah.
So the only option to buy that drone is to find one used. And you never know what you're getting.
Yeah. I do have one question. Is there like any type of upkeep you have to do with this drone? Like,
so no. Now, what I do is every time before I fly it, I check the propellers. I run my fingers across them to make sure there's no nicks in them, make sure they're not loose. But I had one issue with a drone last year. I was flying at night with a spotlight attached to it, and the spotlight shorted out. And when I landed the drone, everything just stopped. I immediately got on the phone, called the company, and within 3 days, I had a brand new drone. So that was pretty good.
oh yeah,
That's solid.
But I there's no maintenance I've ever done.
I hope for your sake that they don't have it outlawed. I mean,
Well, and see, that's the thing, you know, there's other companies that make thermal drones, but it's like you said, it goes back to a blob. Will it work?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can get so much more done with that drone.
yeah.
I mean, quality, it counts. I mean, you don't want to. I mean, how you put it? You're used to what you got. There's no sense in really going back.
that'd be like
if
us
there's
going
no-
back to our old mics.
Yeah,
I
God,
would
no.
not. I'd rather just
Just
Good.
hang it up.
We'll
Yeah.
just go back. We'll just
Yeah.
go to 2 mics before we go back to those 4.
yeah.
But you know, you get what you pay for it. And like I said, in my opinion, that's the best drone on the market.
Yeah.
There's no other drone that I would have other than that drone there. I just wish I had another one just like it.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying about the rain, I was thinking, I mean, if it's raining, then just don't go out, come out next day. But sitting here thinking about it, tracking a deer in the rain, if you made a decent shot, you got a decent blood trail. If the rain comes down pretty hard, your blood's going to be gone.
It's gone.
So that makes sense. I mean, yeah, you want one that can handle it.
Yeah, I turned down or had to turn down quite a few people with the other drone.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say
That
the
thing is cool.
friggin' military could use that just about. I
I'm
would
sure
say.
they got something more advanced than that.
That's probably how they found their summer.
But,
ain't it?
Hey, they could fly it in a cave.
Well, those go out. The military's got the ones that go.
Well, yeah, I mean,
across.
I
the
think
ocean and
I think
whatnot.
they explode too if they run them into something.
Yeah, they got like self explode,
I
whatever
seen
it's
one.
called.
They sunk a boat with something. It might have been AI. I don't know, but they just had like 90 drones. Just
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. So the drone that I had before that one, it was called a DJI Mavic 3T. It was a lot smaller, thermal. And I've kind of been around electronics my whole life. I mean, I'm not a stranger to them.
Yeah.
So I'm at my buddy's house. I'm like, hey man, let me show you this new drone I got. This thermal, it's cool. And I go over there to his house and I take off and it flies into the side of his house.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's $7,000 that I just crashed into the side of his house.
Oui.
And luckily, the only thing it done was broke a couple propellers. And what I learned from that is, so that drone has tons of obstacle avoidance on it, but it only works in the daytime. Obstacle avoidance. So I was like, well, when it sees his house, it's going to stop. Well, at nighttime, it didn't. It flew right in the side of his house.
Dang.
Sounds about like me.
So-
I got that dirt bike when I was young and ran right into the side of a brick house.
So I had to do the walk of shame over there across his backyard to his pool and pick up the drone out of his backyard where it hit his house. So
Man, does that one have that? It's got the obstacle.
it's got it, but at nighttime it will not detect anything. Now in the daytime, it like when I was landing it earlier when I was doing the demonstration, it wouldn't come any closer to me because it sensed us there, and it's got like a compass on that controller, and it'll show you like when you're getting close to something, it'll light up yellow, and then as you get closer, it'll turn red and it'll stop.
Kind
It
of
won't go
like
any further.
when you're backing up with the new vehicles, it'll start like
Yeah.
the vehicles will beep, but that'll just sense it. Okay.
Yeah, when you took it up, I mean, the wind wasn't blowing hard, but I mean, it was a little breezy. And like being that I don't know anything about drones, I've never flown one. The ones I have is like the little kits you get, like a kid's drone for Christmas or something. And
Yeah.
those were like, so like when you took it up, I was nervous with the wind, but that thing is stable as all get out.
Oh yeah. It'll take the wind. Like I said, I've had it in probably 50 mile an hour gust.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And the drone itself will be fighting the wind, but when you look at the image through the controller, it's just as stable as can be.
Does it ever make you nervous flying it in wind like that?
It did that day because it come out of nowhere. I knew it was cloudy. I knew it was drizzling rain. That's why I was flying. And again, I do a lot of flying just to get familiar with the drone. And I was flying it back home and out of nowhere. The wind picked up. And so the drone remote will tell you the wind direction. And the drone was flying right into the wind. And I had it as fast as it would go, and it was going 10 miles an hour.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough battery to get back home.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of safety features on it. Like if the battery temperature or the battery voltage is not right, it won't let you take off.
That's
But-
probably a pretty good feature on it.
It is, and then so I've got it set up to where at 20% battery, it'll give me a warning and start beeping like every 3 seconds. But once it gets down to 10, it'll just land wherever it's at. So I try to land it right around 20% battery.
Yeah.
I've pushed it a couple times, but I don't like to do that.
Yeah. You said $13,000.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just coming to the ground. Now when like it'll automatically do it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it'll just hover on down.
Yeah, so wherever I'm at, when it gets to 20%, it'll start beeping. And if I just take my hands off the remote control, it's going to hover. Well, it's going to try to come back home at that 20%. But if it's flying and it doesn't make it, it's not going to just fall out of the sky,
Yeah.
but it's going to land wherever it's at.
And it'll drop you a pin to where it's at, or
Yeah, but it may land in a tree.
Oh.
It's going to land straight down wherever. When that battery gets to 10%, it's going to start landing.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'd be
be-
bringing it on home.
Be hiring me a tree climber.
He ain't lying.
But
You know
yeah,
what?
it does have pinpoint. So if the drone does go down, it's got satellite accuracy. I mean, I can walk straight to it.
You know what I was just thinking about? You talking about getting people's pets. We've been around dog driving our whole lives. That's all we've done. There's been a lot of dogs lost. Now they've got Garmin collars, they can track them, but eventually if the dog don't come back, that collar's going to die at some point. Man, do you know how many dogs this could save?
You know what? You get that, and then another big drone that'll pick the dog up. I mean, you're making money. You just go sweep him up out the ditch or wherever he's at.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's times the collars get sometimes the collars get caught on a limb or something and it'll take them off. Sometimes there'll be run-ins with hogs. Man, this could be really good for the guys we know.
Or some dogs just get out of the hunt.
Yeah,
like
they just-
completely. They get gone.
Yeah.
We've
Man.
had some dogs. I mean, you remember back in the beep beep days?
Yes.
Out there, turn that thing on long range, and all you
Yeah.
get is toot. That's
Yeah.
all you get. I mean, the dog is gone.
Beep beep days were the good days.
Yeah, that was when nobody really cared.
Yeah. But man, you could save these hunters a lot of heartache.
Oh yeah,
That's what you ought to get, like a diesel version of that, and you can pick stuff up and just bring it on back.
oh.
I don't know if y'all seen that on YouTube, but they've got that guy on drone deer recovery. He's actually taking the DJI. It's like a agri spray drone
Mhm.
that they spray agriculture with, and he takes the tank out of it and flies the deer to the processor. Picks the deer up with a rope, flies it to the processor. That's overkill to me.
Yeah.
Man, you could probably fly that one in a hurricane.
Yeah.
But you're
That's
looking
good
at
night.
you get about maybe 10 or 12 minutes of flight time on one of those.
Oh god,
Yeah.
Especially if it's spraying
yeah.
liquids.
And the battery probably only it probably takes 3 days for
No,
12 minutes.
Believe it or not, but it takes about 10 minutes to charge one. So they got a pretty good system. That they
ain't
have.
bad, but 12 minutes ain't a lot of flight time, is it?
No.
You said yours get what, 25?
About 25 or 30. It's rated at I think maybe 40, but that's from 100% to 0.
So
Realistically, I don't go to 0. I go from so my battery charging station has 3 different options. It has storage mode, which it'll charge the batteries up to 50% so you can store them because you don't want to store the batteries at full charge. The second setting is like a rapid charge. It'll go from like 20% to I think it's 90% in 25 minutes. And then it's got full mode, and it might take, I'd say maybe 45 minutes to charge them to 100%.
So basically, by the time you use up the 2 batteries in those from a dead set of batteries, you can have those charged before those go out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
Pretty
handy.
good system.
So what I do is, I run a portable generator, but I found last year it's kind of noisy. So what I do now is I bought a power inverter to go up on the back seat of my truck.
Yeah.
And I use that to charge in between recoveries. And it's working good so far this year doing herd analysis. So like I said, I typically search about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. If I haven't located something in that amount of time, chances aren't good at all.
I mean, based off of what we seen out of 5 minutes, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. If you can't find a deer, then the deer's not there.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone.
But and you get people that I don't think they're really sold on the technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I am because I've used it so much. But I've had people call and be like, hey, find a deer. And then you hear from other people, oh man, that deer's there. He just couldn't find him. And I mean, it just comes with it. But what I believe in that technology, if he's there, I can find him.
Yeah.
Even in like this time of year when there's a canopy on the trees, it just takes a little bit more time.
Well, I mean, they use technology like that to find people all the time. So why wouldn't you be able to find a deer with it, you know?
I found a deer last year in Moore County, and it's probably, well, not probably, that's the thickest area I've ever searched, and I was able to find him. It took me a little bit longer. I was a little bit slower on the controls, maneuvering, but we were able to pick up just a little heat signature, and I was able to cut the light on it. And I said, you know what? I believe that's that deer. And we dropped the pin, walked right straight to him, and it was thick, really thick.
Yeah.
Well, how far is there a range you kind of want to keep it at as far as getting calls and going out, or is it just?
A lot of it depends. So let's just say I'm at home. I like to try to stay about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But let's just say I drive an hour and a half to do a recovery, and then I get a phone call that a guy's 30 minutes south of that. If I'm that close, I'll go.
Yeah. I'm just curious that way. Man, I hope some of these people start utilizing this. I mean, a dog's great. A dog, I mean, it's got its place. That's been how it's been forever. People using dogs, but this is almost foolproof to at least get an answer. You know, like you said, the dog can bump it.
Yeah, but a dog ain't going to tell you if you actually hit it or not either.
Yeah, a dog can't come back.
A dog ain't going to be like, yeah, the deer's over here. You didn't hit him.
Yeah, you hit him back a little bit. He's going to have some time.
I ain't never had a dog come back talking to me.
No.
Yeah, so I probably found more wounded deer last year than I did expired deer. And, you would hear people say, hey, we made great shots, and then the deer may be hitting a leg. And then you may see some deer that you would think was pretty good shots. And you see the footage and you be like, man, how is that deer still alive?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen the video that I posted of the buck that was shot with a 270 short mag. The guy calls me. He's like, hey, man, I just shot a nice buck. He said, I shot him. He dropped. He said, I texted my buddy. I looked up and he was gone. He said, but the deer was only about 5 or 10 yards in the field off the wood line. And he said, I walked on there and looked, and I got good blood, and I could see where he went off in the woods. I said, well, don't push him. I go look, and I find him within 5 minutes. And the deer is standing in a thick cutover with blood just pouring out of him. And he shot him it was either just above the spine or just below the spine. And the deer is just standing there and blood is just dripping, just dripping, just dripping. And without that drone, if you were to walk in the woods and see that amount of blood, you say, oh, that deer's dead.
Yeah.
Well, I go back a few days later in the daytime on a rainy day and get footage of the buck walking around with the hole in his back.
Well, I shot a buck a couple of years ago. Actually, that 8-point right there, he had a hole in his back like that. I mean, a good silver dollar size hole in his back. And come to find out, 2 weeks before that, he'd been shot by a bow hunter, and it was just below the spine, right in the back straps, and he was fine. I mean, he had some infection and stuff, but yeah, I mean, situations like that.
I've had the same thing. I shot. It was a 7-point. I shot him, made a bad shot on him, went right below his spine through the back straps. Didn't find no blood or nothing. He come back out a week later. I killed him, and it had already clotted up, and he had like a little, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
Little skin tag from it.
Yeah.
Finally killed him, but I mean, I didn't think I even hit him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every time I've shot a deer with the rifle, I shoot a 270, and even if I know the crosshairs were on whenever I shot, I mean, you get that kickback, and a lot of times, that throws you off. So you don't really know unless they drop right there.
Well, you never know with a scope. Anything can happen. You can bump it on a tree. I got a scope that's shockproof, but it's been off before.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, all right. So what is your advice to somebody, period, whether they are planning on calling you or not, after shooting a deer? Give them time. I mean, I know that's normally you want to give them time anyways, but sometimes we get excited. But if it's a big buck,
if I would say this, if it's a buck that you 100% do not want to lose, just don't push him.
Yeah.
Just don't take the chance. That has been the deciding factor in my recoveries. It takes the odds of finding that deer, and it's decreased greatly.
Yeah.
Bumping that deer.
Yeah.
I've had guys take me to places. Hey, this is where I shot him. This is where he was bedded. There's a big puddle of blood. He ran 50 yards and bedded down again. Show me another big bug. Never find him. So just don't bump him. And it's hard. I mean, I'm a hunter. It's hard not to go in there after a buck that you've been hunting, one that you have history with, one that you've watched for 2 or 3 years, and you finally get a shot on him and he goes down, or you get blood. But if you got any doubt, just back out.
Yeah. Well, man, I got a spot in Little Rock in Dillon. So we're right down the road from you. So there's a buck out there that I saw last year for the first time. He was grown, and can't imagine what he looks like this year. I don't run cameras or anything. I don't even put corn out there. Just try to leave it alone. So, I mean, like most people, hope they don't have to call you, but it's like having an ambulance whenever they do have to call you. It's like 911.
Yeah, it's never having to pick up the phone or get on Facebook and reach out to me. It's never good.
Yeah.
But our recovery rates are pretty good.
Yeah.
I know I recovered a deer last year on Thanksgiving Day for some guys. And I was able to watch that buck die on camera. They knew they made a bad shot on him. They knew they shot him in the guts. And I found the deer relatively quick. As I find the deer, he's walking and he's staggering. Well, I keep the drone on him, and he just, within a couple minutes, he died right on camera.
Yeah. Well, man, as far as sportsmanship and ethics, I mean, you've got a good operation. Like we said, if somebody wants to reach out, Carolina Thermal Imaging and Recovery, and I don't know what timestamp was when you gave me your phone number. If you want to give it again, that way they'll have it.
It's 910-618-6969.
Would you care if we put it on the Facebook post, or would you rather not do that?
Do anything you want.
I think normally we don't post anything about the episodes until it's posted, but
yeah,
I want to go ahead and put yours on because, I mean, it's the gun season's in now, and it's been in. I wish we'd have done this one a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a little bit before.
Yeah.
I really don't think there's many like cons to this. Like,
not just saying that because you're here with us, but
yeah,
just
like,
it's
like realistically,
anything. Yeah. Well, true, but it's like anything. People can use it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
You know, what's stopping somebody from going out, buying a drone, flying over a piece of property, scouting a deer, and then going to hunt him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like anything. It's how you use it.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Is I think there used to be regulations when this was new, because when anything's new, the DNR is pretty much going to rule it out until they do get enough research and all that. So I think that's kind of what they were worried about people doing. But the upside of this is it just outweighs the down. I mean, yeah, people can, but at the same time, people can take a spotlight out to a field and blast deer, and they do that
Every day.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, that's just a lot of money to spend in something to go do that with.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, you're not going to get your money back by doing that.
Yeah.
So for somebody who wants to fork out that kind of money to go do something like that, there's nothing stopping them. But I mean,
There's
you
no
just
point.
do what's right and just roll on with it.
Personally, I think you do the right thing by what
absolutely.
you're doing.
Absolutely.
We hadn't known you long, but you seem like a good guy, and
I got your back in the comment section. If that's
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, there's going to be a few. I mean, like even on Facebook, I mean, people's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
I don't entertain a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have time to get caught up in it. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing it for the right reason. I keep doing it. But there's a lot of people that are doing this now. And look, I encourage it. Like, that's a great thing. I can't take all the calls.
Yeah.
There's a guy now, I think, I don't know his name. And if I did, I wouldn't say it without talking to him first. But he's actually getting started in Florence. And I'm like, hey, man, he's like, if you got any calls you can't take, send them to me. I'm all about it. I help people all the time. They ask me, what kind of drone am I using? A guy just called me yesterday, and I had been helping him on his drone, figure out a few different settings and stuff. And he called me and said, hey, man, I crashed my drone. What I need to do? So I try to put him in contact with someone who can help him out. So if there's anybody out there that wants to do it, I say go for it. You better do it now before this ban kicks in. Because I think all these drones that are in the U.S. now are going to be kind of grandfathered in. So grab it, do it while you can.
yeah,
It's a good thing. Because I can't do it all.
yeah,
My business has really shifted down towards Brunswick County a lot. And I'll never forget where I started from. The guys in Robeson County just helped me out. The calls that they gave me, they made me who I am.
yeah.
So I'll always be there for them.
Right.
But I'm getting a lot of push down in Brunswick County.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, you keep getting out there at a certain point, you're either going to have to hire somebody. I hope you do. I hope you have to hire and get some more drones.
Yeah. And I guess before I go too deep in it, I want to see what the future looks like for these drones. Because what I'm not going to do is just buy an average drone to just make money.
Right.
Again, when I go look for a deer and I don't find it, I lose too.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks for me just
Yeah.
as much as it sucks for the hunter. So I'm not going to go out and just buy whatever is available to try to make money.
Yeah.
So if I can't use that drone or one very similar, then I don't feel comfortable charging people. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah. People don't. I used to do pressure washing, and I was trying to make money on the side and trying to help people out. And when you know how YouTube, you can learn how to do anything on YouTube, whatever you want. That's how I started doing that, and I started getting busy. But man, the market got so saturated with other people doing it, and then there's people not doing that great of a job, putting bids in for stuff they have no business doing. I feel like as this gets out there, like we said, it's been around for a little while, but it's just not really caught on. But I think as time goes on, it's just going to keep getting more popular and more popular.
Yeah, I think I've seen it take the biggest jump from last year to this year. And I didn't do a whole lot of herd analysis last year before the season, but I done a lot of flying with the drone. But based on what I've seen this year, and I haven't done any scouting in South Carolina, all my analysis have been in North Carolina, Brunswick County, Robeson County, Scotland County. This year, I think we're going to see some of the biggest bucks killed.
Yeah. Dude, man,
This is going to be a good year.
bucks around here, there's been a huge jump in the last 5 years from killing little bucks like this and that, being Facebook post worthy, to deer averaging, like, you see a lot of 120s, 130s, even 140s buck being killed around here.
And you remember how you said in the hunting club that you were a part of, and I'm still am, last year, that you were like, dude, how is there anything left in there? Everybody's just massacring bucks. Well, apparently now there's pictures of even bigger ones than last year that they're getting, and more bucks.
Yeah, I heard y'all had a pretty good opening dog drive.
Yeah, somebody killed a 7-point on opening day.
Oh, they said I heard y'all killed 5 bucks opening day.
Well, I ain't hear all that, but I know it was a 7-point kill.
Yeah.
Well, and you never know what's in the woods that you never see. There's not many properties that I've went to this year to do analysis, and they be like, I ain't never seen that buck before. I've run cameras year round. I ain't never seen him, and I'm talking about a nice buck. And I've seen some really nice ones. Unfortunately, I can't put those on Facebook. The hunter doesn't want them out there, and I get it.
Yeah.
Because you never know who's following me, and I get questions all the time. Hey, where's that buck at? Like, people will private message me on Facebook. Hey, where's that buck at? Where's that buck killed at? And I'm like, look, I can't do that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot give people's information out like that.
Yeah.
I could not do what you do, because if I just see a monster, I'm in the stand every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, boss, look, I got to take a month off.
Yeah.
I'm in the tree.
Man, we appreciate you coming on. This has been cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've been excited about this one for a while just to learn about it, because it's just something that,
I don't think anybody's really got a knowledge of this other than the fellas that actually do it.
yeah. I hope this episode blows up, not for us, but
Just for it to be popular, like just to have it be spread around, like the actual whole drone thing.
yeah, a whole lot less wounded deer running around, because I hate seeing, I've made bad shots and I hate it. Nobody wants to go in the woods and wound an animal.
Well, I think everybody will catch on eventually. I just think it may take some time to, buy into the technology, because I get comments and messages. Like I said, do it the old school way. Whatever happened to people going in and tracking a deer on the blood. And I'm like, look, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the chances of finding that deer with this drone are a lot better than walking in there.
Yeah.
Well, just like with a job, the old school way got pushed out for new ways. You know?
Everything changes constantly.
Like, I worked at the power company for like 2 years. They said back in the day they didn't have to wear none of that safety mess, and now you got to be rubbered up.
Yeah.
I mean, everything gets there's always going to be a better way,
Yeah.
and this is taking the dog out of it.
If there's a
In a
better
way.
way than this, it'll
I'd
shock
love
me.
to see it.
Well, and you'd be surprised what you can see once you're up in the air. And like I said, I mean, nobody wants to take the chance of pushing a buck of a lifetime.
Right.
But then again, I've got calls to go find those.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, it greatly increases the odds of finding that deer dead or alive.
A hunter should do their due diligence and want to find that deer, no matter buck, doe, spike, whatever it is. If you screwed up, you should do right by that animal and reach out to you to come, or somebody else that's got a drone that,
Yeah, because I would say 90% of the deer that I've found that haven't been pushed haven't went more than 100 yards.
Yeah.
I remember specifically a pretty nice 10-point. The guy called me at night. He's like, hey, I shot this buck. I made a bad shot on him. I was able to locate that buck and see the bullet hole in his gut. He was bedded up. So I said, look, here's what we do. We'll drop a pin. I'll come back for you in the morning. Just let him lay. And I think he went maybe 30 yards and he just laid over there. And when I say drop a pin, so that drone has a built-in laser rangefinder. And what it allows me to do is zoom in and drop a pin on any location of my choice. And I'm able to pull up a QR code, and you can scan that with your phone. And on Google Maps, it'll walk you right straight to that pinpoint. And it'll be within 5 or 10 feet.
That's pretty
Pretty
awesome.
accurate.
Well,
If you said you can see the bullet hole in the deer, does that mean it gives heat signatures for like those little Tweety birds that'll be in the things too?
Yeah, so I can fly that drone and say, okay, there's a squirrel, that's a bird. It'll pick it up. A rabbit, I can be 250, 300 foot and say, oh, there's a rabbit.
to be able to look at a deer from 250 feet, 100 feet, however high up, and see the blood dripping out gives you an
That's
idea
insane.
of how well you can see. I mean,
we saw that on that cow out there.
yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah, and that was just me hovering up, zooming in. It's totally different when you're actually doing a recovery. You're getting over top of that animal. You're going a little bit lower and you're zooming in. Like I said, that was 20 zoom or maybe 40. I can zoom in and it's unbelievable.
And you said
what
it
the
goes to
technology-
what, 200?
It'll go to 200, but anything outside of 80 or 100, it's real grainy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try to stay within 20 and 40 zoom.
I don't think you need to get any farther. I mean, unless you're trying to X-ray vision them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that drone was designed for a lot of search and rescue. It's got a lot of cool features like a tracker on it. Like you can go in there and you can activate tracking mode on it and target a specific vehicle and let go of the remote control, and the drone will follow that vehicle. The drone won't actually fly, but the camera will turn and zoom and follow that vehicle until it can't anymore.
Dang, that's freaking cool.
You better watch what you do while you're driving now.
Hey, dude.
Yeah,
Hey.
we're gonna call Sean to come track.
Yeah.
Well,
God, turn.
Man, I told you that's the one they used to get him.
The game wardens will be using this for too
They
long.
got them.
Dang,
sure they
Lord.
got sure.
Absolutely.
don't do nothing wrong. After seeing this, don't do nothing wrong.
All right,
we'll
guys.
find you.
All right, I officially retired from duck hunting.
Dude, could you imagine how easy it would be to see people baiting ducks?
Just imagine. You're just sitting there minding your business. You
Start taking off. But shoot, they'd be
And
able to analyze your face, see who you are.
know, be out there at 12:30 at night just trying to get your limit.
They'd be shoot. They could see the flipping what's it called? Your driver's license in your pocket. They'd be able to read it with that thing. No, but man, I tell you what, we appreciate you coming on. I've enjoyed the heck out of this. It's been
Yeah, this has been pretty sick.
very educational. I hope some guys around here start utilizing this because, like I said
They
before, a couple weeks ago, I didn't think we had anybody around here that did it. I'd only seen it on TV and on YouTube of people, out in the Midwest and all that. So I think it's cool. There's not many people around here that do it that I'm aware of.
No, and I think a common mistake with people around us doing this is what they charge.
Yeah.
And what I charge varies depending on where I have to go. I know like out west, they may charge $400 just to show, and then they may charge $100 fine fee.
Yeah.
You can't charge that around here.
No.
We don't have $500 books. I mean, I'm not saying that somebody wouldn't pay that for a buck of a lifetime, but you're going to miss 50 calls just to get 2.
Yeah.
So you price it in a way to where you get more work.
Yeah.
And it's doing very well. I was able to pay for the drone first year.
Yeah.
So I've done pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you charge that for $500 to come find a deer, even if I had shot a buck of a lifetime, I wouldn't be able to call you and have you come find a deer for me. I'd be scrounging trying to find the money.
Hey,
for you.
Jay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what discourages a lot of people. Like there may be other guys doing the same thing that I'm doing, and they might be charging a little more. They might be charging a little bit less. I don't know, but that can discourage someone because when the word gets out, hey, I shot a buck, man. I caught a guy with a drone. He's going to charge me $500. They'd be like, oh, well, the word's going to get around.
Yeah.
I ain't paying no $500 for that. Give me my dog. Let me go in there and look for it.
Yeah, yeah. End up losing them. Yeah. Well, I'm all over this. Like I said, I hope it blows up. Not your drone.
I appreciate you clarifying that.
Yeah. No, I hope these guys around here. And I'd love to see you. I'd love to, maybe be out there in the woods and see the drone from a way off. Like, oh yeah, I see Sean out there working.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, hopefully I don't have to call you,
But I
but
hope you don't, because like I said, it's never a good thing.
yeah. But if I do lose one, I know who to call.
That's right.
And
Definitely.
pretty daggone confident in your capabilities. So,
Yeah, we got a pretty good success rate.
yeah.
They're pretty good.
Well, guys, we appreciate it. We're going to hang it up on this episode. Like we said, Carolina Thermal Imaging and Recovery. Check him out on Facebook. He gave his phone number twice. And y'all lose a deer or are uncertain or have killed a big buck and you don't want to bump them, hit them up. And don't get down there and start looking if you're uncertain.
Just back out and call me. We'll
Yep.
hook you up.
So we appreciate y'all. I think that's going to hang it up. We'll catch y'all on the next episode. Rut and Duck out.